I'm smoking, so I'm gonna put the shades on. Cause y'all might catch me having a little moment. When I make music, when I do my thing, I've been doing music so long that I've learned to make space for what I do, and and I haven't always done that. I felt like I've really done music at the wrong times. At times, I've also had the wrong people around me. I've also tried to do wrong things at the wrong time. Nothing that I'm saying that I do I think is from outside to in. I think it's all inside to out. It's adjustments and things I had to learn and make myself more consciously aware of to make sure I'm getting the best song, the best music, the best feeling in my heart, vibe in my spirit, and making sure I'm doing something and doing it in a way that's sustainable. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so what's up, y'all? G Taylor Drums. We put some music on in the background. Put my little song on. Genius. Yeah, G Taylor Drums. We chilling. We discussing today writing process. I wanted to. Well, I'm sitting down here writing a song, but I want to discuss a few different ways that I write songs and the ways that I think about songs. And I thought today would be a good day to get into that and it's just good footage. Some of this stuff I'm writing down or I'm saying too for content. I recently had the opportunity to kind of take all my content to the next level. And so I think as I take it to the next level, it's more important now that I get my ideas out and, brainstorm and start to build my community. So I'm trying to go live more. I'm trying to share more information. And hopefully I can watch this later and challenge myself or influence even myself. As I minister to you, I minister to myself. And as I minister to myself, hopefully that ministers to you. So working on this house record again. Let's see. So let me go back and read exactly what I said I was doing a little bit. I know I'm gonna show y'all this, how I write these songs, but sits down walks us through how to design the concept of song. Okay, yeah. So the beat of this song had a heart in it, had a heartbeat. And so when I saw hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing? What's up? Shout out Altamiz, Michael Ruiz, Roya, Dylan, Michael, Deportas. Dude, don't you think it's bad to drink alcohol on air? I'm not drinking alcohol on air. But peace and love, man. Shout out to everybody. This is English. I don't know too much Espanol, but que pasa, amigos? Me llamo Jorge. Jorge. Habla Espanol. Shout out, bro. Not the gay streamers out here. Respect. Word. English, but back to the topic. So we discussing writing a song. I appreciate y'all coming through. Maybe a lot of y'all may leave. Maybe y'all will stay. If you do leave, I'm G Taylor. I'm just a friend, a musician, an artist. Thank y'all for stopping by. Please like, comment, follow, subscribe. Just really please, just say something. My channel is new. I'm really new to this, so just fucking do some shit, bro. Just say anything. I'm chilling. We writing a song. This is the song. Let me go back. House beat. So bro said, what's the music about? So this song has this heartthrob in it, and so I'm making this song about, it's kind of about love, but it's more, this is what I got onto here to explain. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the beat, and you got to let the spirit talk to you. You got to let the ebb and flow of life and nature and all of existence be here. And then you gotta like calm yourself and listen. And I say listen because life is a lot of call and response, and you'll be surprised what will a lot of times when you ask questions, you'll be surprised how listening is the answer to your question. What do I mean by that? The answer will come to you. It'll almost push on you like a force. You don't always have to reach so much. The beat will tell you what to do. Yes, I am a rapper, and we're rapping today, but the beat will tell you what to do. So and first thing I heard too, so there was a gun clock in there. So I'm feeling like love and I'm feeling house, but the gun kind of makes me feel like, it doesn't make it negative. It kind of makes me feel like I mean, that's the gun is realistic. I mean, there's a lot of love going on in Israel and Palestine, but at the same time, it's a very literal fucking niggas is dying time. It's like a double entendre of like shit is getting real and love is real like that. When you get hurt and I also thought of love and I thought of heart attack and I thought of cardiac arrest. Am I bald? I'm bald in some places because I get bald fade. So it ain't a bald fade unless the barber gets you bald. You dig? I just want y'all to hear the meat and the potatoes of the song. You look like a gangster for real. Oh, that's hilarious. Um, So this is what I went with. I'm loving the way that you do it. Your love, it got me foolish. I look really stupid, shooting arrows like Cupid. I still believe in love. Do you believe in a thug? Nails under my hands and feet. Nails in my hands and feet. A bleeding crip on the tree. The 5 and 6 with me. I got Elo and him. Electric magnetic beats spark the world as we speak. Love covers darkness all week. Can't cover the darkness in me. Cause it's melanin, baby, and I'm selling them, baby. In the trap, I'm moving my feet. New Balance 9060. Ain't nobody sexier than me. Your body sexy like this beat. Touch my hand and stare deep into my eyes, where my soul don't lie. No gnashing the teeth, no tears to cry. Stole my heart, left me on ice. Stole my heart, left me on scene. Stole my heart. I can't believe you let that nigga nut your jeans. I get it. I ain't no king. It's no wonder we out of breath, and we really need a breather. And so we getting kind of close to where their heartbeat goes in the song. And oh yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into this song. Before I move forward in the video, I gave y'all a literal example of how I'm writing this song. So this song is a lot of call and response, push and pull. I'm loving the way that you do it. I love that your love, it got me foolish. So it's like, I love the way that you do it. Your love, it got me. So it's almost like I'm loving the emotion, the way that you do it. Your love, it got me foolish. Emotion, I look really stupid. Emotion, shooting arrows like Cupid. Action, I still believe in love. Positive, I still believe in love. Love, do you believe in a thug? You feel me? Feel it. Nails in my hands and feet. So it's like I take these motifs and I break them down and explain them, or I call and response emotion to emotion. If it's positive, I may give you something, sad, or something left or something right. Which when the beat started, the beat was kind of very loving and it had that. It's kind of cute. It's pretty. People snapping and shit. Little bells and shit. Beat kind of cute. Then the gun cock. I don't like saying that. Pause. I don't even like saying that. The gun, you feel me? Kieminski. And then the beat drop. So I think that call and response to the beat is making me say the words like this. So one thing I would say, any beat that you're listening to, just use the call and response of what's going on in the drums to kind of dictate your words. And also, if there's a big enough change in the drums, change something in your voice. And also, drums are indicative of the beat. Drums are also indicative of the space between the beat, and drums are also indicative of silence. So if there's a part on the song too where it goes silent and there's no drums, say some shit there too. You feel me? But don't say the same thing maybe that you said on another part of the drums. Why? Because even like in a band supports the lead singer and they kind of help you transition. And though you may not do that in a recording studio scenario, just understand the. I mean, I'm back at like what I'm saying is deep, but no, it's not that deep. Just understand the mental logistics of like analog is first. The reality is first. The way drums help move about a song when you write to a beat, allow the drums to help you get to the next part and think about that. And anyway, I just hope you can vibe on that. These particular songs like this, I don't have the beat up. I'm playing the beat out of my notes. I I'll get a bunch of beats. Thank you for loving my music. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, share something. Just leave a comment. You say please sub to you. Okay. I can't do it while I'm on here. Oh yeah, I got another phone. Hold on. Sub to you. Let me get on here on the other phone for y'all. Let me get on here on the other phone so I can sub to y'all. That's real, ain't it? You feel me? I'm getting on here. If y'all gonna engage with me, I'm going to engage with y'all. Other phone so I can. All right, let me turn it down. Oh, I can pin this message. I pin that love. Go to channel. Subscribe. We only got one subscriber. Make sure you subscribe to me then. I ain't getting no new subscribers. Don't be faking like that. If you don't sub back, I'm unsubscribing. Cause not that I'm being stingy, but you told me to sub, bro. So you better sub. That don't make sense. Thank you, thank you. I love you too, bro, bro. I love you too, bro, bro. So again, allow the beat and the push and pull of the sonics of the record kind of point you in the right direction for every single beat. And this is kind of one of those ways to where everything could become the same. And when you get on something new, you know, people are kind of had that vibe of like, how are you so creative? What do you do? It's like, bro, it's really the same approach. Like, I'm always going to allow the push and pull and the ebb and flow of the beat to dictate where things need to go. Now, for this particular song, I extracted the kind of the theme and the motif of the song from the fact that it had these heart pumps in it. And so we went with heart attack, and I did cardiac arrest in parentheses. So that's kind of like a, you know, and this could go many ways. I could maybe get the same beat. This not maybe if I give the same beat to somebody and tell them it's about a heart attack, you know, they come up with something completely different, and that's what makes music fire. One thing I would also say too is like when you make music for a long time, like when you write a lot of records, you begin to kind of have this feedback loop of, it reminds me of, okay, when you were in school, right, they taught you precipitation, condensation, evaporation, and they told you that life basically presented itself in these cycles, and you could understand things based upon these cycles. So when you listen to a beat and you write, you gotta hear the beat, see the page, and you write. Hear the beat, see the page, right. Hear the beat, see the page, right. Hear the beat, see the page, right. Listen, see, 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 right. Hear the beat, see the page, right. So the same way, like precipitation, condensation, evaporation, what we need to understand is we can tap into these systems in these feedback loops and get into a realm of perfection. And I call it perfection because when you think about it, going back to precipitation, condensation, and evaporation, these systems and cycles were already there. They precede mankind. They're not here because we can think them up. They've already been, you know, thought up by God and by the universe and by spirit, and we get to be here and to enjoy them and use the way they work to our advantage. So as you approach your art and you get it into a system, it'll start having a thing to it. You feel me? And you can get into a very perfected state. And maybe some of that is obvious to you. I just like to point that out because I'm just real big on like the why. What exactly are we doing this for? I always kind of I talk like someone's younger listening. I think the younger me just wants to know, yo, what the fuck is going on for real? Why should I do that? What's in it for me? How do I develop it into something bigger if I would like to? Yeah. That's what I would want to know. So that's just the type of content and the value I'm trying to give. I'm trying to let you know like how you could get into writing songs and develop you into how you could get into writing songs and develop that, and then watch the development that the thing takes on you. And I encourage anybody to start that. You know, a lot of people say I'm not a rapper, I'm not this, I'm not that. You don't even, I mean, forget those words. You listen, you have a little bit of a thought process, and then you write. Just look at it as a system. Well, I wanted to kind of listen and write more. You know, don't think about rapping, don't think about music. Think about, I wanted to listen and write more. So if you want to listen and write more, a great way to do that is like music, you know, just listen and write, listen and write. Yeah. Oh yeah, and what I also wanted to tell y'all, so sometimes I'll write free verse, so I'll write lyrics or kind of like I don't know, some type of, it's almost like a download. I'll write out a download. You know, at one point in my life, I made a call it a freestyle. Sometimes I call it poetry. Sometimes I call it words. Sometimes I call it a thought. Um, but I use all of that, like poetry, freestyles, words, thoughts, concepts. I've been putting these notes together for so long now, and I use all my notes for that. Like I've had notes about random business things that'll turn into a song because I think everything is full of a theme and a concept. And I think the artistic ability through writing and through film and artistry, and let's just stick with those, the ability to continuously extract out certain motifs and to put the supporting assets around that so that people can enjoy a kind of a concept and a frame of thought is a beautiful thing. And you can get better at doing that, and that can pay you very, very handsomely. And all you have to do is practice. Well, practice taking the concepts out of everything. And that also kind of, I'm gonna tell you, concepts destroy the devil. I'll say that again. Concepts destroy the devil. I'll say that again. Concepts destroy the devil. Why do I say that? Because the trick about the devil is you usually have an opinion of the devil. You haven't really conceptualized the devil. And if you actually went on a journey to conceptualize the devil, it was kind of like the boogie. It's kind of like going into the closet and you finally see, oh, there is no boogeyman. Oh, the closet is it's not even as black as I thought. It's kind of like gray ash. It's like 4 by 4 feet. Does that make sense? Like when you go into something you don't understand and you can now make it all more practical, you can exactly explain it. When you fully, this is why I say concepts kill the devil. When you fully conceptualize a thing, that thing just becomes a whole different thing. Case in point, you can use music to help you conceptualize things more. And I also think that's why a lot of musicians kind of get the edge on people sometimes and have a wittiness about them that could even get them into trouble, but also gives them a way of kind of understanding things a little bit differently and more intrinsically. Well, it's just the fact that if you engage with music for a long time, particularly in the art of it, like where your hands are involved and your ears are involved a lot, or maybe just I never done a study on it exactly myself, so and I haven't read one about it, so it's probably in every single way in general. I think I'm just pointing that there are, I think, some maybe, I think I'm just saying what I'm saying because it's not all equal. In some ways, it is all equal that all music does help people conceptualize things. And I think that's also, this is a great point. Being that music does help people conceptualize things, I think that's that double-edged sword, though, of how sometimes music can get a bad rap. Because you have music where people say, you should make this music about this type of stuff. And then you have all this other music where they say that that's okay. I think at the end of the day, even if it's evil or something debased, or if it's shooting, or if it's crime, or if it's rape, or it's murder, music is a way of conceptualizing that. I think it's a reminds me of freedom of speech. Like, if that's the type of art humans are creating, I think they deserve the right and the space, organically on the planet to do that, because because these people kind of make it. This is something that I think that I would like to debunk. I do not believe that music produces a lot of these situations. I think these situations produce a lot of music, and I say that because a lot of the true arguments. I thought about this earlier too, and I'm trying not to get sidetracked. But the real argument in life, y'all, I got the gold nugget today. This is the real argument on planet Earth. The argument is order. You know, that's the real argument. Like, if I argue with a girl about a man and a woman and who's God, and that, the argument is not us. It's not really a gender war. It's an argument of an order of events. Like, what started what? What was the cause and what was the effect? You know, it's like we're in this battle to trump each other to, I went first. But I will say it actually is a noteworthy battle, because who is first does matter. In anything that we study in nature, it doesn't present itself to us randomly. It has a beginning and the end. You know, that's a whole nother thing. I am the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. You know, what is the point of pointing out the beginning and the end? Well, there's an order to things. There's a time that this thing starts, and there's a time that this thing's in. And I am who I am in my fullness, in my being, because of what I've done. And what I've done is when I started and when I ended. Same thing with precipitation, condensation, evaporation. The same thing with conceptualizing yourself or your life through music, or just same way in looking at a freestyle, a parable, a poetry, a thought as a concept, but really taking the time through your years to really understand the art of conceptualizing something. That is a very, very, I would say this is one of the most powerful conversations in the world. And I say that because, as your friend, you know, real friends tell people real things. You know, what I'm really hinting at is your ability to conceptualize what's going on, not to give your opinion on it, not to get caught up in how you feel. That is completely irrelevant. We shouldn't even brought that up, because that's what happens when you engage with like practical mediums and stuff. You can God has a way of within life, you engage with natural organic things, that it kind of keeps your mind out of the minutia of life. And that's so true. Like, when farmers or different people who deal with plants, when you have something that you do that's super duper realistic and in a way kind of analog, it helps you. That's why I said I think it's very, very healthy to listen to music and to write. Listen to music and write, listen to music and write, listen to music and write, listen to music and write. I think you're just cycling this kind of feedback loop that'll do a lot for your pen game and for yourself. And yeah. I probably ended the, y'all would have to give me some questions about what I'm saying, because I might get sidetracked. But I'm just flowing. We'll check it back later. I'll write some of this. It's funny I said right. I even feel like sometimes when I speak on here, I'm writing, which is kind of true. Because I can put this very thing in CapCut. This is how life is crazy now. You feel me? Like, no cap. You know, I'm talking on here, but I can put it in CapCut and get the captions, you know, and it writes it out, you know. Like, you can take another phone and put it up to this and get it all transcribed like very, very quickly, which is a whole nother thing. But I think where Spirit is trying to take us on that journey is, as life and digital information and information and technology progresses, man's need to be able to conceptualize will also increase. Like when people get afraid of AI and afraid of this and afraid of that, I think fear doesn't exist. And the reason I say it doesn't exist is you're saying what you're saying because of how you conceptualize the situation. And some of you may think, well, what if I conceptualize the situation to be a lose lose? I don't agree with that. I don't think that you can do that. I don't think it's incompatible with life. You know, the nature of the seed is to grow toward the sun. It never says, you know what, I'll quit. Not I'll quit. I think people don't get that. I think that's one of the deepest thoughts in life. Like, let me say the thought without saying it. It's hard for a lot of people to conceptualize and quantify the truth. And here's a funny game about life with that though. Think about this, y'all. Isn't it ironic that when a lot of people say they're at the fucking truth, it tends to still be something negative? Have you ever thought about that? It's almost like you're saying at some point, it's not about humans. It's like you're saying negativities in the trees, negativities in the rocks. Like I say, mankind was not here first. You have all of the elements, all of the, the gases and the different things. You have the push and pull and the ebb and flow of all of nature that allows us to be here. We're just, you know, we're human beings on planet Earth, having our experience. But the things around us are much older. So when you use your mind, y'all, and you're so fucking smart that you're negative, I just think it kind of shows that you can't conceptualize life. Like you haven't conceptualized it. Because I truly think, me as a philosopher, there's just no true intrinsic way to conceptualize, I think, really negativity. And what I mean by that, like even when let me go here because I try to play devil's advocate. Somebody might say to this like, well, what about rape, murder, death, and crime, and all these evil types of things? My thing is, what about it? Like, what exactly are you trying to say? I said that there's no obvious intrinsic way that when you conceptualize things and understand how to conceptualize things, that a lot of truth would lead you to be overallly negative. And you're like, well, what about rape and murder? It's like, what? I think you have a question that you don't know how to really ask. It's like what about it? What about it? I think that going back to that feedback loop of condensation, evaporation, and precipitation, I think that sometimes some of the hardest things in life for us to deal with, that we refuse to see it as a cycle. And if it be part of a cycle, then it has its role and its purpose in the feedback loop of that cycle. I think what it is, and this is where spiritual living and spiritual thought power comes in. Are you thinking about the matter so physically and maybe so up close that maybe you're forgetting to step back and have more perspective? And I just truly think when you do that and you conceptualize a situation, you truly always end back up in Psalms. Like you end up back with, for this is the Lord's doing and it's marvelous in our eyes. You end up back at, for this is the day that the Lord has made, and I shall rejoice and I shall be glad in it. And I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. I think you just end up back at that place. And if you haven't, I'm like, nigga, you being negative. Like, shut the fuck up. That's your fucking problem right there, nigga. You being negative. And this is, you know what I also think is so dope? Let me give y'all the word right quick. Let me give y'all this. Let me give y'all this nugget. The funny thing, no, real shit, let me calm down. All right. In modern times, we want to talk about Trump. We want to talk about this, and this. When you read the Old Testament, for real, the Old Testament was a motherfucker. I say that to say the Old Testament reads of like rape, plunder, war, scorched earth, niggas trying to get to heaven, shit blowing up. And I say that to say, isn't it fun? Think about the mind. Think about this, y'all. Isn't it funny how everybody still tries to act like that's the same shit today? Like everybody, we're in a whole different fucking time of man, but niggas still try to, not niggas, but people who are negative still act like they're in the Old Testament. They feel like We gonna get raped. Oh, everybody, any day. It's wars. It's the worst it's ever been. It's I'm like, bro, when you read the Old Testament, it started off like being the worst it's ever been. Like, does that make sense? Am I making sense to anybody? It's like, see, this is what happens though. My candor about this has to do with the way I conceptualize it. And I more conceptualize it like writing a movie or a film. And this is one of the most beautiful ways I think you can look at life. No matter how rough and bad life is, like, take the time to ponder what if you wrote the story. Like, be unemotional with it. Be like, oh yeah, so we had this party tonight. This person was with this person, was that person, this person, this person, this person, this person. These people went home, made love. These people had a good night. This happened, this happened, this happened. You know, this person, this fight happened. You know what I'm saying? This quarrel happened. This happened, that happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Some happened. Oh, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, that happened. You know, and this may be crazy. Y'all may look at me so crazy, like, why would you do that? I think this is just to help you gain perspective. Think about what if you wrote the series of events. How would you feel about that? And I say that because when you read the Bible ain't no deeper than that. It's about a lot of things going on in reality, and somebody's like writing the series of events of what happened. Somebody's conceptualizing everything that's going on and writing it down. And some of it's written like that because some of it's like about something happening. Sometimes the reference point is more like this is what I'm saying about my life. You know, the Bible changes a few different reference points, and that's my point too. I'm not trying to break it down. I'm trying to say when you come upon something, you should be able to conceptualize it and not be able to. I'm trying to say a few things. Music and conceptualizing, listening to music and writing, listening, writing, over time will help you conceptualize all things. That and just studying vocabulary and words in general. I'll go back. Let me back up. Screw. Cut the whole video. You're live in 5. Music in general, the process of listening to music and writing music, listening, writing, listening and writing, and you studying vocabulary in general will change a bunch of different things about you in what you like to do. Particularly if you try to take it serious and really try to like push your pen, you know. You know what I think is funny? You see how I just said, particularly if you take it serious? This is another thing I would like to say about just bitch assness on planet Earth. A lot of times when this is some real shit, bro. A lot of times when we talk about shit, we talk about this element of like, if you're gonna take it serious. That's sad that we talk about shit like that. It really need to be, bro, if you gonna do it, shit, do it. If you not, you gonna not. Just shut the fuck up. Cut all the middle ground out. And I know that's not, I know you probably like, gee, that's not realistic. That's not how it really is. But it's just like, but is that not how it is? Because it's a reality that we have a lot of laziness, but I think sometimes let me redirect. I'm trying to encourage the family, encourage the team, encourage the Acres of Diamonds that the more we buy in on things, even like listening and writing and studying vocabulary, the more we are over evolving the game that everybody else plays in, and it makes it better for everybody. So addressing the element of like, if you're gonna take it serious, I think that shit is lame as fuck. Like, we need to live more fully and with more faith and with more hope. You feel me? We need to get out of shit that a lot of shit that we don't like, we need to stop doing. And it's not that we need to be more serious. It's just that life is a fucking mirror. So let me put it like this way. If we do a bunch of shit on planet Earth or our approach is off, we have to pay the penalty for having our approaches off. Like, as a community. You can't, that's one thing about God, and when you really understand what's going on in the spirit, listen, you can't win all these battles by yourself, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just You feel me? Like, I'm laughing because you know how niggas be talking about how they, you know how niggas be talking about how they gonna get money and go to an island. They be like, I'm gonna go get on an island and shit. Matter of fact, the boxer that just won, Tank, that nigga Tank was talking about, man, I'm trying to get away from this shit. You know, whatever, I'm trying to go be on fucking island somewhere. Like, everybody just want to get money and get away from people. And people really look at financial wealth like that, like for real shit. People look at it like, yeah, I'm rich, but I want more than this. I want to be able to get away from people. And you know what? I don't mean to bring race into it. I, y'all, I'm not trying to be serious. Y'all gotta have some humor with me. But listen, I don't mean to bring race into it. But we all know that the first people to get money and get away from everybody is white people. And I just think that's funny because why do we want to be like white people? Like, it's okay, white man, white woman. Listen, if you want to make trillions of, I don't know how much money it take to get away from everybody, but let's just call you a billionaire or let's call you a trillionaire, because I feel like some billionaires can't get away from everybody. If you're a trillionaire and you can want to get away from that, I just don't understand, like, being a civilian or being someone that want to come up socially and just come up in social status in general. I don't know why niggas want enough money to get away from everybody, bro. But this is what I think. I think naturally people want money to get away from, and I use naturally taboo right there. People naturally want money to get away from everyone because they feel like I don't know what to do with people, and I just hate that for us. It's like, nah, the answer is like, you may not know how to figure it out, but see, this is where clearness of thought and conceptuality and conceptualizing things come from. Listen, I don't know how to figure it out, y'all. I don't know how to get everybody right. I don't. But I could conceptualize that. I could conceptualize, like, us listening and writing at a higher rate and having a higher relationship in the Americas and the world with vocabulary, that we're just intrinsically just better people. You know, it's, I think sometimes we forget that also, that the human pressure of the citizen, oh, I want to say this, I think we forget that the human pressure of the citizen on the establishment is how educated the average civilian is. It's not his degradation and how foolish people are. So look at it like this: the more we can raise the floor price on education, that's really revolutionary and anti-system. And you really, I don't mean to go on a rant, but you got to know it. Shout out to the homies Nip. Shout out to Fred Hampton. Shout out to the Move organization in Philly. It was a lot of elders, and they're not all from black people. You get, first of all, hold on, let me continue my point. There's a lot of elders that gave us this game. And when you look back now, you really got to respect that. It's like there was a few different people on planet Earth who've had huge plans organized to kind of raise just like this floor price of life. And what I mean by that is they're trying to get the average civilian to be a little bit more articulate and have. See, the thing with this is the thing. Let me give y'all the thing. This is why. Let me talk y'all through this Acres of Diamonds. This is the fact. End scene. I'm coming back in 5. Here are the facts. Life is an acres of diamonds, and man is surrounded by more opportunity than what he can use in a lifetime. So what you find is the threshold barrier to achievement is not opportunity existing. It's man's ability to see opportunity. Man's ability to see opportunity, your town's ability, your family's ability to see opportunity has to do with their actual literal education. Their actual literal education is their relationship with listening and writing and vocabulary. The more astute that your family becomes, or you become, or a civilization or community becomes, the more they can be self-sufficient and learn to solve their own problems. Thus, the revolutionary is always giving art or propaganda that opens up the minds and the mentals, and a lot of times points fingers at the establishment for for evils, injustices, and many different things. But there's like a feedback loop there. There's that feedback loop of the artist who's the kind of like propaganda anarchist. That's what hip hop is, propaganda. So it's the call and response to what we would like to achieve in nature for our people. And we come up with these systems. And the reason why the government, and I hate to come at the government, y'all, but I gotta come at y'all. The reason why the government is always such a thing, because the government is responsible for the current system in the land, which is also kind of a deep thing to conceptualize. Because I think sometimes people give the government a bad rap. I think sometimes people think the government is so bad. Now, I'm not saying that to say the government's not bad. I don't think the government, personally, me, I don't think the government is intrinsically bad. I don't think anything's bad. This is what I mean. I think in every single game and system you get in, there are people in it. I think people forget the spectrum and grade of people. Call it calm, cool, collect nigga to wild ass nigga. Calm, cool, collect nigga to wild ass nigga. And in between these niggas is all grades of people. Calm, cool, collect ass nigga to wild ass nigga. So within the government, I believe there are great people. First of all, start at local government. You know, the government really does work in certain ways. And I mean, what I mean by that is you can really go get involved in your local government and vote locally and make change and make impact. You can actually raise up a child to get involved in local government. And then I'm going to be dead honest with you. As I've grown up and actually kind of become more astute and have more vocabulary, have more opportunities, and I meet more ladies and more women and different men and different shit, where I've gotten into life, this is a fact. A fact. A lot more shit that affects you happens way lower than I'm just being honest. A lot of people don't understand this. This is why I kind of don't like a lot of hate for the government. I don't like a lot of hate for the government because a lot of different things that go on in America, they're not the big things. It's all these little fucking school board meetings, city council meetings, and things they done voted on in the house. Like that's stuff that be going on all the time. People don't even be reading about the stuff. Stuff going on all the time. So I say that to say, like, man, there's great people in the government all the way to the worst. And people will say certain systems are corrupt. I do agree with that. I do think certain systems are corrupt, but I don't want to break it all down. I think what I'm trying to just explain is I'm glad that we got to this point. I kind of got to a point where I was going too far and I caught myself. And I want to explain what happened. I was getting so far. I was getting into the deep end, in my opinion. And this is where I think conceptualizing music and art can help you. I saw how giving my opinion, though, steered away from the fact of, if I'm talking to a group of, let's say, teenagers, I honestly, like, as a gift from a man to them, I don't want them to learn my opinion. That's not what's important. If I have 80,000 generations coming behind me, which is very, very practical. We don't know how long life is going to go after us. So take some motherfucking responsibility for being on planet Earth. Because a lot of niggas did a lot of shit to get you here. So do what the fuck you need to do for a lot of the niggas that's coming. That's a great way to look at life, too. Get your head off the fucking clouds. Like, many niggas went through a lot of shit for me to get here. What am I going to do with my time? Listen, what I was going to go with that is, like, I done lost my thought process. The intrinsics of just learning that process. You hear me? Let me hit this blunt. We talking. Oh no, my point was, like, I got sidetracked because if I'm talking to the youth, this is why I love art. Art kind of teaches you how to conceptualize and get into things. What do you do for a living? I'll talk about that. Art has this, to me, this is what I like to say. Art has this approach to it that you get into conceptualizing and concept without, like, how you feel all about it and stuff like that. Even though it does involve feeling and involves emotion, it's just like a different frame point. And it reminds me of, like, the feedback loop of film. So first of all, some people would say film is fake because it's not in the real world. Okay, so we would say, let's look at it like this. So if you get a divorce in real life, in real time, you feel the pain and the hurt of divorce in the real heart of God. You're a real human. It's pain. It's hurt. You really know that. Okay, so then when you feel that within your soul, within your being. Okay, then if we put it on film, we have people act like they're feeling that, which they're not feeling. They're acting like they're feeling that. Okay, it's a successful scene when the people who are watching it up in frame can usually feel the real emotion of what's going on. And then you even have beyond that, you have the director who, it's kind of like, although you can act and although we shot it, it may not be what the director wanted us to see. I say that to say this kind of flip-flop feedback loop of how to perceive and to conceptualize is what art makes you do often. And that is actually the exact kind of mechanism, sequence of events that will help you get through many things in your life, understanding that. And that's how art can save us and does save us. My dogs is hitting me up, man. What's up with it, baby? You popping? My mom is talking about. Okay. I'm gonna have to leave in a second. My boy sent me something to watch. But yeah, it's G Taylor, man. Y'all like, comment, follow, subscribe. We talking about this heart attack song. I'm just talking about how to write a song. Oh yeah, let me give you these 3 points. I'm about to get off of here. So this song. I love it the way that you do it. And I ain't gonna say that. We decided on the last live to wait till the beat drop. Yeah, loving the way that you do it. Your love, it got me foolish. I look really stupid. Shooting arrows like Cupid. I still believe in love. Do you still believe in the dove? Nails in my hands and feet. Lead crip on a tree. The 5 and 6 with me. I got LO and E. Electromagnetic beats. Spark the world as we speak. Love covers darkness all week. Can't cover the darkness in me. Smelling it, baby. I'm selling it, baby. Yeah, in the trap, I'm moving my feet. New Balance 96 feet. Ain't nobody sexier than me. Your body sexy like this beat. Touch my hand and stare my deep into my eyes. My soul don't sleep, no gas in the teeth, no little cry. Stole my heart, left me on ice. Stole my heart, left me on sea. Stole my heart, I can't believe. You let a nigga know the guillotine. So after happen, baby, by me. I get it, I ain't no king. It's someone who run me out to breathe and really need me. I'm breathing. I'm still working on this part right here. But I'm gonna get that part right. And again, even in messing up, and this is what I mean by how songs write themselves. A lot of times, what's a mess up is the sequence of what you're wording and what you're saying does not fit 100% to the beat. It doesn't gel right. And that's how picking a beat helps you. That's how, when you kind of have writer's block, you can kind of make it through that next phrase. It's like a lot of times you try and tell music what to do. Just allow the phrase to tell you what to do. Allow the rhythm in the syncopation of the order of events in the song. And let me break that down. What are the order of events in the song? So, G, what are the order of events in the song? At any given point, what has happened before it and what has happened after it? That's the question. If you want to find the order of, I don't know exactly where I am in time. What is happening? What's the phrase behind that? And what's next? That'll help you most of the time figure out what to put right there. And I say that as well, because even if you, and you'll notice this, sometimes in music this happens. Sometimes in music, you have this point in the song where you don't say anything. You say something, but you say nothing. Usually where that nothingness comes from is you still know what was before it and what comes after it. Does that make sense? Based upon what's before and after will give kind of nothing a complex or a concept or a space or a margin. You feel me? It's facts. It happens all the time. That's like that's the philosophy of nothing, y'all. And I actually, on a weird way, believe that about space. To get weird on y'all, I think sometimes the whole nothingness thing of space. I think the thing is from a if there is a before and there is an after, truth be told, is there a nothing? Like that's kind of a conundrum. I'm gonna just leave that out there. If there is a before and there is an after, is there a nothing? Because going back to music, if you put nothing between before and after, it is nothing, but it was something. Space, time, BPM. Like, what if the whole of the reality, the nature of the world and the universe, what if it all kind of just gets cold in a way and the heartbeat of it all stops? But is it the heartbeat dead for all of existence, or does the heartbeat always have the potential to start up again? There may be some nerd out there who will say, well, once it's over, it's over. Some other people would probably say, life always has the potential to bring more life. Because how can I forgot how this one philosopher put it, but he talked about how can like nettles come from nettles or whatever. And what he means is like is always drawn into itself. So what's in the nature of a thing has to always do with what a thing could be. So if even if life intrinsically was like at a zero state, maybe it in its zero state would have within it the potential to be whatever it need to be. Somebody may make an argument against that and be like, no, there's a mathematical way to take away all potential. And that's a nerdy thing to think about. Somebody might say, well, universe starts with a cause and effect, so if there's no cause there could be no effect. That would exist as a universe. And although we can fathom that, but it's like, but there is, so I don't know, there's no reason to think. I think sometimes this is really one of the smartest things I like to say, and I don't think it's smart at all. I think that some of the smart things we think into, I think is minutia, and we shouldn't be thinking about it. I think the only smart thing you could intrinsically really do is do the best with what you can control. That's where I think like the element of the feedback loop of like art comes in. Art's something we can control. We can get in with art. We can engage with art. We could do things. Um, some other things you may even can control with time or different elements, but you may not be able to get hands on. I think there's a big power though in like focusing your thought energy on something that you can control and get through. Yeah, but I've been on here 52 minutes, y'all. I'm about to get out this live. It's G Taylor Drums, man. Y'all like, comment, follow, subscribe. Y'all check the link, man. Check out the beats. If y'all need some beats, I got y'all. I do an offer based service, so you can make me an offer. I'm about to still, even though through an offer, kind of write down some parameters so you guys can have some thought process of like whether you want a sample beat or some examples of the beats. But I do have beats on Audius. I got a lot of new beats I haven't put on there, but either way, it's a lot of work on there. You can kind of tell where my head's at. You can also follow me and watch the music that I'm putting out. I'm redesigning my brands right now. SevenHillsGrow.com, my social club, the record label Acres of Diamonds. Um, we're getting the IG together. We still are streaming the making of beats. I talk my shit and I make beats. It's streamed on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that all at the same time. I have a creative director, Nico Hawkins. We are working on some interviews, so I'm gonna get you guys some professional like 4K horizontal content and some reels that are professional vertical content. I'm gonna still be doing my little crazy dumb content, just the stuff to keep me busy and active. And I appreciate the love and support. A lot of people have been telling me, "Hey man, I'm proud of you. I see you working." Some of that's been local. I have been meeting a lot of new people online who I just been meeting a lot of people showing up, showing out, showing love. It's all positive. For me, intrinsically, everything is more than it's ever been. Like, even on TikTok, I got some videos with 700 views. Some people think that I've never had 700 views. Point being, my 700 would be the same as me getting 80 million because I never had that. If I had 6 million. Does that make sense? You know, Kendrick today got what he get? It's like I think it was like 10 million in like 9 hours or something like that. You know, and that's more than he ever had. So you get it? Y'all get what I'm saying right there? That's the universe. You feel me? When a nigga have a moment that's more than he ever had, that's the same as any moment that you have that's more than you ever have. So take a win where you can get it. You feel me? I'm getting more looks in certain ways more than I ever have. Um, I'm having a good time. Um, making music, raising my sons. Just trying to be a better person, man, a better father, better husband. I am still married. Um, yeah. So, and I'll be real. I do think about my wife every day, you know, and I don't know what the Lord will do in our relationship. Um, and I always start from the bottom. If worst comes to worst, we're never together again, and we get a divorce. You know, I just think for the amount of time I was with her, and then with my boys, and what I was trying to do with my life, she'll always be a vital part of a lot of different stuff, and not even just because she's. I mean, well, I'll say that. Yeah, it's because she's my wife. Yeah, you know, and I think that's a beautiful thing about marriage too. You know, like you can move on, but it's like you are my wife. Like it doesn't really matter. I think it's funny for real. I think being married is hilarious. I really do think being married is hilarious. Because it's like if you break up, like, I mean, do you really break up? I think life is hilarious. I think life is motherfucking hilarious. Like, in my opinion, if you get married, right, you get a divorce, I don't agree with that. What I mean by I don't agree with that is I don't think you can actually get a divorce. Like, I think you can go to court and get it. Like, it's like you don't really get married because the court or the church marries you. Personally, not in my opinion. You kind of do, but you don't. So I also feel like you know, it's like a it's like a matrix thing. It's like the political establishment or the mainframe kind of position checkpoint of your city and town. When something kind of becomes public of record, they have a process of taking that. So when you get married, if you're not getting married, like I think it's full circle. Like I think if you was even getting married in the woods, and you even had a small Negro community of slaves and you got married, I mean, you still got married in front of like, you know, those witnesses. And you really live that on planet Earth. I say that to say this. If you're married and you get divorced, I mean, it's in a way, I just think you're always married to that person. You know what I mean? It just doesn't really matter. You know, you don't even gotta do shit for her ass forever. She ain't gotta do nothing for you. But you just are. You feel me? Um, I think if you don't think about it like that, it has nothing to do with relationships. It has something. I don't think you're understanding the cosmic decision that you made, like being that we're suspended in space and we're like making these, you know, types of commitments to each other. And the funny thing about being human is so funny because like it's funny that we can make the decisions we can make while animals kind of make some other decisions, but we're kind of the same people. But it's hilarious how we do. But anyway, peace and love to the family. G Taylor, I'm out of here.